Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello. I am so excited to be here today. I am Kim Allen, and I am a coach for life success and transformation for women who've been through some tough things in life, maybe abuse or divorce or their shame, maybe being stuck in your job and not sure where to go. And today I'm going to kick off a series of talking about why is it so hard to ask for help? And I asked this question in the group, and I got some really great responses from it. And so I would love, if you're here live, to let me know in the comments that you're here live. And if you hear this later, replay, and any kind of feedback that you have, I would really love to hear, because I'm going to be talking about this for the next couple of weeks. So what are some of the most common things that I heard in the group was, I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to appear weak. I've got this. I don't need anybody's help. Okay. And where does that come from sometimes? Well, a little bit about me. I grew up in an abusive home. And so some of the coping mechanisms that I had created from childhood into my adulthood was building walls, that they're virtual walls, invisible walls, mental walls that kept people out and kept me safe. Because what happened as I went through life, through that abuse, I lost my voice. I didn't have a voice. And so because I didn't have a voice, I didn't want people to know what was happening in my life. I carried that throughout my entire life. And that's what happens sometimes when we've experienced traumatic events or we've gone through some painful things in life, where we create this wall of, I've got this. I can do this on my own. And there's a couple different ways to look at that. One could be, I've got this. I can do it on my own because I don't want to appear weak. But it could also be, I've got this. I can do it on my own because I don't want anybody to really see me. And so asking for help can be really difficult when you're not in a space of feeling confident in your power, or maybe in that space where you don't want somebody to really know you. And so you grow up with this idea that I can just do everything on my own. Well, guess what? We grow up and we can't do everything on our own. We can learn anything that we want. And I have an analogy here today, and it's like, so let's say I have this mentality that I can do everything on my own and I want to program a website. Okay. I don't have that skill, but I can learn it. I can go to school. I can go to school for 2 or 4 years, whatever it takes to learn it. But how reasonable is that? Right? It's going to take me that long before I can get back to the project that I want to get done. Well, now look at that in something like a simplistic thing where you want to get something done, but you don't quite know how to do it. And it's really easy to ask the person who has the knowledge. So that's something that I've learned to do. I had somebody tell me one time, basically in a nutshell, it was, why is it that you assume that my schedule is too full to help you? Who are you to tell me that I'm too busy to help you? And I was like, whoa. And I've had 2 people say that in different forms over the years. And it was like this huge eye opener because I didn't want to feel like a burden. So, like that example of the website, and it would take me 4 years, if I had a question that was going to allow me to get over the obstacle or complete the project much more quickly than spending 6 hours on Google researching how to do it when the person is in the room right next to me, why wouldn't I ask the person in the room? So I want to ask you this. Do people come to you and ask you for help? Do they ask you, can you give me some advice on this? Or can you show me how to do this? My guess is that they do. And I know people would come to me in the past all the time because it made it easier. They didn't know how to do something completely. So they would come to me and that would make me feel good. Isn't that kind of how you feel after someone comes to you and asks for help? Like, oh, I'm really glad that I got to help them. So then why do we feel like a burden or that we're weak or that we don't know what we're talking about, that we're not capable when we go to ask for help? Well, that's a habit of thinking that I have to do everything on my own or somebody will judge me or I won't seem capable or I'm weak and not strong. Now, I want to clarify one thing. It doesn't hurt to try to do things on your own, right? It's growth. It's a great thing. It feels good. You know what? I'm learning to build web pages right now in my Power to Heal site. And I swear the people down the street can hear me hoot and holler when I complete the page because it's hard. I have Googled a lot on how to do these things and it feels good, but this is something that I need to learn how to do on a long-term basis for now. I'm an entrepreneur. There's a lot of things I got to learn. But you know what I've also learned is that there are people who are way more knowledgeable than me where I can ask them, hey, can you have a look at this? What does this look like? What do you think it's missing? And they're more than happy to step up for me. I wouldn't have done that a few years ago. I would not have done that a few years ago, but I do that now. And it's so much easier. I'm not having to do work and redo work. So there's this whole efficiency thing when you reach out and ask for help. So I would ask you, I'm going to leave you with one question, and that is, what are you not doing right now? What are you procrastinating because it's hard or you don't have all the answers? Who is it that you could reach out to today for help? Because you can get a whole lot done, a whole lot more done in less time when you're willing to drop that wall and trust and believe that you are worthy of having somebody step up for you. You don't always have to be the person stepping up for someone else. Someone can step up for you. So I leave you with that. And I hope you got some value out of this. Please leave me comments or send me a message. I'd love to know what you think about this and have some conversation. So I wish you all an amazing day and I will talk to you soon.